I spent $15,000 to look like myself. That's what my friend Sarah told me 6 months after her rhinoplasty. Not to look like a celebrity, not to look dramatically different, just herself, but better, more confident, more acceptable. And here's the thing that kept me up at night. I couldn't tell if that was the saddest thing I'd ever heard or the most honest. Let's discuss this on Let's Talk About It with Henrie. Hello, dear. Welcome back to Let's Talk About It with Henrie. I'm Henrie, and if you're new here, this is where we dive headfirst into the conversations that make people uncomfortable at dinner parties. Today, we're talking about something that's become so normalized we barely blink anymore: plastic surgery and cosmetic procedures. Is it empowerment? Is it pressure? Or is it both? All tangled up in a mess we're all pretending makes sense. Buckle up. This one's going to sting a little. Let me tell you about 3 women I know. Woman. Number 1, Jessica, age 28. Jessica got lip fillers for her birthday. Just a little, she said. Nothing crazy. She posted a selfie with the caption, "Self-Care Saturday," and got 847 likes. 3 of her friends DM'd her, asking for her injector's contact. She told me she finally felt put together in photos. She'd always had thin lips, and now she felt like she could compete. Compete? That word stuck with me. Woman. Number 2, Maria, aged 45. Maria got a facelift after her divorce. She didn't tell anyone except her sister and me. No Instagram announcement, no reveal video. When people complimented how rested she looked, she'd mumble something about a new skincare routine. She told me, late one night over wine, that she didn't get it for her ex. She got it because when she looked in the mirror, she didn't recognize the tired, sad woman staring back. The surgery, she said, helped her feel like she was taking control of something in her life. Woman. Number 3, Aisha, age 19. Aisha started saving for a nose job when she was 16. She'd grown up seeing her profile in tagged photos on Instagram, always turning her face just so, always aware of that bump on her bridge. Her mom said she was beautiful as she was. Her friends said the same. But Aisha couldn't hear it. Every time she opened TikTok, she saw the same narrow, upturned nose on a dozen different faces. She got the surgery last year. She says she's happier. But here's what haunts me. She also said, "I finally feel normal." Normal? When did we decide what normal was? Now, the uncomfortable truth, here's where it gets messy. Because I want to sit here and tell you that all 3 of these women made empowered choices. That they took control of their bodies and did what made them happy. And isn't that what feminism is about? Body autonomy, choice. And yeah, on the surface, absolutely. But let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about it. If we lived in a world without Instagram, without Facetune, without filters that give you a nose job in real time, without the constant bombardment of tweakments and glow-ups and investing in yourself, would they have made the same choices? And here's the thing that makes this conversation so controversial. The answer doesn't actually matter, because we don't live in that world. We live in this one, the one where 13-year-olds are getting preventative Botox, where Zoom face became a legitimate concern during the pandemic because people couldn't handle seeing themselves on camera all day, where the plastic surgery industry is projected to hit $66.9 billion by 2032. This is our reality. So the question isn't whether we should go back to some imaginary pure time before cosmetic procedures. The question is, how do we navigate this reality honestly? Now, the empowerment argument and why it's valid. Let's be fair. There are genuinely empowering stories. The woman who gets breast reconstruction after a mastectomy and feels whole again. The man who gets gynecomastia surgery after years of avoiding the beach, avoiding intimacy, avoiding living. The trans person who gets facial feminization or masculinization surgery and finally sees themselves in the mirror. The person with a cleft palate, a burn scar, a birthmark that's caused them pain since childhood. These aren't vanity projects. These are people reclaiming their bodies, their confidence, their lives. And you know what? Even the cosmetic stuff can be empowering. If someone genuinely wants fuller lips, a different nose, smoother skin, and they can afford it, and they go in with realistic expectations, who am I to judge? Your body, your choice, full stop. But, and this is a big but, we need to be honest about the but. And hey, if this conversation is making you uncomfortable, good. That means we're getting somewhere. Hit that subscribe button if you appreciate content that doesn't sugarcoat the complicated stuff. Because trust me, we're just getting started. Here's what the plastic surgery industry doesn't want you to think about. When 90% of cosmetic surgery patients are women, is that really a choice, or is that a pattern? When Black women are getting nose jobs to make their noses narrower, when Asian women are getting double eyelid surgery, when every ethnicity is subtly being pushed toward the same Eurocentric beauty standard. Is that diversity, or is that erasure with a scalpel? When teenagers are asking for procedures for graduation gifts, when prejuvenation is marketed to 25-year-olds, when we're literally trying to stop aging before it starts. Is that self-care, or is that fear? Here's a story that wrecked me. My cousin's daughter, 16 years old, told her mom she wanted a nose job for her birthday. When her mom asked why, she pulled up her phone and showed her a filter. "This is what I'm supposed to look like," she said. "This is the pretty version." She wasn't looking at a celebrity. She wasn't looking at a model. She was looking at an AI-generated version of her own face. And she decided that that was the goal. That was what pretty meant. She'd spent so much time with that filter that her real face felt wrong. Let that sink in. Her real, human, teenage face felt wrong because it didn't match the algorithm. This is the thing nobody wants to say. You know what's wild? We can hold both truths. Plastic surgery can be empowering, and the culture around it can be toxic, predatory, and damaging. These aren't contradictory, they're just complicated. The problem is that we've turned this into a binary. You're either body positive and anti-surgery, or you're pro-choice and pro-procedure. You're either shaming people for their choices, or you're ignoring the massive societal pressures that shape those choices. But life isn't binary, it's messy. You can support someone's right to get Botox and question why we've decided that wrinkles are something that needs fixing. You can celebrate someone's new confidence after surgery and mourn the fact that they didn't feel confident before. You can respect bodily autonomy and recognize that autonomy doesn't exist in a vacuum. The money question. Let's talk about something else nobody wants to discuss: class. Because here's the thing. When we talk about plastic surgery as empowerment and self-care, we're really talking about rich people's self-care. The average rhinoplasty costs $5,500. Breast augmentation? $4,500. A facelift? Try $8,000 to $15,000. Botox? That's $300 to $600 every 3 to 4 months. Forever. So when we frame these procedures as empowerment, as taking control, as investing in yourself, who gets to be empowered? Who gets to invest? The working mom with 3 kids who can barely afford groceries? No. The college student with loan debt? No. The minimum wage worker? Absolutely not. But you know who does have access? Influencers, celebrities, the already privileged. And then those people set the standard. They post their natural faces that cost $50,000 to achieve. They talk about their self-care routines that include monthly tweakments. They make it look effortless. And everyone else just feels like they're failing at being a woman, at being attractive, at keeping up. It's not empowerment if only rich people get to do it. That's just expensive gatekeeping with a wellness filter. If you're still with me and you're thinking, damn, Henrie really came for my throat today, then you're my kind of person. Smash that like button and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because these conversations, they matter, and they don't happen enough. So where does that leave us? I don't have a neat answer. I wish I did. What I do have is some thoughts. 1. We need to stop pretending this is simple. It's not empowerment or pressure. It's both. Always. 2. We need to be honest about why we want what we want. Not to shame ourselves, but to understand ourselves. If you want fuller lips, ask yourself, why? What do I think that will give me? Where did I learn that thin lips are a problem? You might still want the filler. That's fine, but at least you'll know. 3. We need to protect kids. I'm sorry, but 16-year-olds should not be getting nose jobs. Full stop. Their faces are still developing. Their brains are still developing. They're living in a filter-saturated world that's warping their self-perception in real time. We need age limits. We need regulations. We need to stop treating cosmetic procedures like getting your ears pierced. 4. We need to call out the industry. The plastic surgery and aesthetics industry is predatory. They've medicalized normal aging. They've pathologized normal features. They market to insecurity while calling it empowerment. We can support individuals' choices while also criticizing the machine that profits from those choices. 5. We need more diverse representation, not just ethnic diversity, age diversity, body diversity, faces with wrinkles, noses with bumps, lips that are thin, bodies that are real. Because right now, the after photos all look the same, and that should terrify us. My final thought. Remember Sarah, my friend who said she spent $15,000 to look like herself? I asked her, a few months after that conversation, if she was happy with her decision. She said yes. She said she felt more confident. She said she didn't think about her nose anymore when she looked in the mirror. And then she said something that stuck with me. I just wish I'd learned to like my old face. Not instead of this. Just also. That's it. That's the whole thing. You can change your body. It's yours. You're allowed. But maybe, just maybe, we should also work on building a world where you don't feel like you have to. Where 28-year-olds don't feel like they need to compete. Where 45-year-olds don't feel invisible. Where 19-year-olds feel normal exactly as they are. Is that naive? Maybe. But I'd rather be naive and hopeful than cynical and accepting of a world that profits from our insecurity. So that's it. That's my messy, complicated, probably going to piss someone off take on plastic surgery and cosmetic procedures. What do you think? Are you team empowerment? Team pressure? Team, it's complicated, and Henrie just gave me a headache. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one, and I want to hear from you, especially if you disagree with me. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Hit subscribe if you want more conversations that don't have easy answers. And remember, you're allowed to be complicated. We all are. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, the hardest conversations are usually the most important ones. I'm Henrie, and this was Let's Talk About It. One uncomfortable truth at a time. Until next time, keep questioning, keep thinking, and let's keep talking about it.